So hello guys, and welcome to the final episode of the 12 Days of Switchmas for 2024, and today I will be covering my favorite game of 2024, and this just so happens to be my favorite game of all time, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door Remake. It is an absolute miracle that this happened, considering how the Paper Mario series was going. Like, 12 years ago, we got Sticker Star, which set the series back quite a lot, because there were no original character designs, and a very lackluster and just nothing story. Then we got Color Splash, which I do respect that some people enjoy, but it still had a slow battle system that didn't really click with me all that much. It was still suffering from lackluster character designs and weird restrictions holding it back. And Origami King was good, and I really enjoyed it, but it did suffer from a few of the same problems that Color Splash did, though some things were improved quite a lot. But we were still far from this series returning to the classic style that a lot of people, myself including, have been wanting. But we finally got that in September of 2023, when they announced the Thousand Year Door remake. And it looked like everything that I wanted from a Thousand Year Door remake. And I can confirm, after playing the game multiple times, that it is everything that I wanted from a Thousand Year Door remake. It is just incredible, overall. First, I want to talk about the art style, because they handled that nearly perfectly. Because it's really exactly how I wanted them to handle Paper Mario in HD, as well as this remake and classic Paper Mario remakes in general in HD. But basically, they kept the character designs and a lot of the textures intact. I respect the fact that they understand the appeal of the classic Paper Mario art style, with the Yoshi's Island inspiration, and a lot of the chibi designs, and a lot of the original, wacky, and interesting designs, and interesting takes on existing Mario enemies and Mario characters. So I am so glad that they kept this style intact, and they actually made it even better in my opinion, since they added a lot of really cool expressions, animations, and poses. It actually feels smoother than the original, which is kind of surprising because Color Splash and Origami King were doubling down on Sticker Star's decision of making everything kind of stop-motion-esque, I would say. So it's really nice seeing all of these smooth animations come back in the Paper Mario series. I think that is really cool. It's basically like Origami King and Color Splash's expressions mixed with the smoothness of the classic Paper Mario games. Because I'm definitely going to give credit to Color Splash and Origami King for introducing a lot of these expressions and things, because they feel right at home in Thousand Year Door. Because they actually reused and kind of adapted a lot of these expressions and things from the modern games in this game, with a lot of things, I would say, for both Mario and the Thousand Year Door characters. It's definitely heavily inspired by a lot of those expressions and poses and things, which I really appreciate. I think that's really cool. They found a way to kind of combine those styles in the perfect way. And I also really like the fact that the characters kind of pop out. They're emphasizing the paper doll effect that the older games have always had, at least Thousand Year Door, Super Paper Mario, and technically Sticker Star too. But I like that layered model kind of thing, where there's different sprites that make up the model. I think that is pretty cool, and I think that's the preferred style for Paper Mario for me, I would say. I kind of like that a lot better than the kind of the singular sprites from Color Splash and Origami King, because I know 64 did that as well, but they felt a lot more stiff in the modern games, I would say. So I definitely prefer how the remake did it, and also the older games by extension. But yeah, and I love the fact that they kept the textures in, because that's another thing that they kind of changed about the modern games. The modern games have less textures and kind of emulate a paper craft kind of style thing more. Well, this kind of has part of that papercraft thing going on here. They kind of kept some of like the storybook pop-up stuff here, which I really like, since each of the surfaces have textures. It almost kind of gives the impression that it's like something printed out and like kind of taped or like pasted onto something like with that texture on it, or like cut out. It looks pretty cool. I really like that effect. But it looks really nice overall. And a lot of the things in this game were kept intact, like the battle system. The battle system feels just as good as it did in the original game. Like, the only thing that they really changed is, like, some of the timings. And sometimes they're, like, very slightly easier, but other than that, it is practically the same. And I love that they kept it intact. I love that they went out of their way to fully adapt this battle system in the Origami King engine. I think that is just amazing, and I really hope that kind of, this was just kind of them, like, adapting this battle system so they can kind of build off of it and do new and interesting things with it in future games. I really want to see them experiment with this battle system more and add, like, new mechanics onto it, rather than throwing out what worked in favor for something completely different. I think they could strike a balance with Paper Mario, similar to what they did with Mario and Luigi, or similar to what Alpha Dream and now Acquire is doing with Mario and Luigi. But yeah, and I love a lot of the new little additions in this remake. They added a lot of things that I really wanted, like a sound test mode, the art gallery, which has a lot of concept art from Thousand Year Door. I thought that was amazing to see, because I am really interested in the development history of the Paper Mario series. I actually have an account both on YouTube and Blue Sky showcasing the history of, like, the development for various Paper Mario games. So I thought that was really cool as well. And there are also, like, little additions as well, like the Nostalgic Tunes badge, as well as the gold medal, which is the 100% completion reward. That is really cool. And there's also other things as well, like the new super bosses. The new super bosses are some of the best new additions, like, out of, like, any remake, I would say. Besides, like, a new campaign. I mean, I guess a new campaign would have been, like, even better, I guess. But the super bosses were amazing, and they felt like some of the most, like, fan servicey thing they've ever done for a Paper Mario game, and that's amazing. Like, Prince Mush as a boss, and he's like the hardest Paper Mario boss too, like out of anything in the series, which is really cool. It's almost like Thousand Year Door's equivalent to Scissors, which I really like, because you basically have to use super guards to, like, take him down, which is really cool. And then they also added Waka as a boss. Like, Waka, the little creature that appears in all of the classic Paper Mario games. They added him as a boss. That is amazing. Like, it's almost like they knew that the Paper Mario fan base, like, loved, like, the little characters like this, like the Wakas, like the Clefs, Koopa Trolls, stuff like that. Like, it's almost like they knew. It's almost like they knew how much we love stuff like the Waka. Because the Waka was always, like, a popular classic Paper Mario character. Like, I see a lot of fan art and even, like, fan-made plushes and figures that people make. People love Waka. So I am so glad that they made him a super boss here. And I hope that means that Waka will be in future Paper Mario games. I really hope. It was really disappointing that he's been gone since Super Paper Mario. So this was a great way of finally bringing him back after, like, 17 years. So that was amazing. And the fact that he's also, like, in the Pit of 100 Trials is just really cool as well. It's almost like Super Paper Mario, how you have to go through, like, the Pit of 100 Trials again. Or, like, go through, like, another Pit of 100 Trials. So it almost simulates that, like, a little bit. Though it would have been nice if they had, like, a remixed Pit of 100 Trials. Where it had maybe not necessarily, like, new enemies, but maybe, like, harder variants of existing enemies. Kind of like the, how the Infinite Pit scales things. That would have been cool, like, to have, like, something for, like, Waka like that. They could have reused the same assets for the Pit of 100 Trials to do that as well, just, like, recolor it and do different things like that. That would have been a cool idea, but I still think it's cool that he's in the PID 100 trials. I still think that that's cool that there's like an extra thing there. But yeah, this is just an Oh, I forgot to talk about like a couple more things. There's also the they also had a few more characters like Ian Thumis. He didn't really add much to the Trouble Center. The Trouble Center is still like kind of a meh part of this game that I don't really care about that much. But it's cool that they added a nice little original character there that's a little Mouser. And they also added the Battle Master as well, which is like this toad that kind of is like a tutorial kind of thing that can teach new players how to do like certain moves or super guards, guarding, different things like that. He even calls Mario Nameless Frank when Duplo stole his identity, which is pretty funny. So I think that's pretty cool. It's nice that we got like a couple new characters, even though they're not like super significant. I do like new Thousand Year Door characters. But just experiencing this game again in HD is amazing. Like, Thousand Year Door, like, has, like, so much to offer. Like, an amazing story, amazing battle system, great characters, especially Vivian and Lord Crump. Experiencing all of that again was just incredible. Like, this was the closest thing I got to experiencing the game for the first time again. And that is really something that you want from a game that you love. So I am just so glad that they remade this. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Merry Christmas!